A loaded baked potato. Yep, that is all this is. A loaded baked potato with broccoli. And it was so good, let me show you how I made it. I got a couple of large russet potatoes and I scrubbed them really good and rinsed them off. Then I dried them really good and started shanking them. The hoses will let it breathe so it won't pop in the oven. Then I doused them in grapeseed oil and a lot of sea salt. Then I rubbed them in real good, and put them in the oven on 400 for an hour and 15 minutes. Now on to my shrimps. I seasoned them with garlic powder and this garlic and herb Old Bay that I found at Walmart. I used about a tablespoon because I'm covering this in buttermilk when I'm done. Then I added some onion powder and a cup of buttermilk and a few splashes of hot sauce. Once everything got mixed up and good to go, I let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now I like chicken fried shrimp, if that's even a thing. I use 1 cup of flour and about a half a cup of cornstarch. I have never used cornmeal to fry my shrimp. I love it with this flour and cornstarch. Then I put the same seasonings that I use on the shrimp into the flour mixture because duh. Once I got my oil to 375, I put them in until they were nice and golden brown like me. Now let's start on this steak, y'all. I'm real simple with my steak. I like to season it with salt, pepper, and some onion powder. That is it. You'll be surprised how flavorful it is. Once the avocado oil got hot in my pan, I laid the steak down and let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once that time has passed, I flipped them and let that sit for another 2 to 3 minutes. Look how golden brown that is, child. Then I take it out and let them rest for 5 whole minutes. Once they done resting, I put them back in the pan. I get a big old chunk of butter and about 6 to 7 cloves of smashed garlic. Then I get a handful of parsley and I start tossing that butter. I basted each steak in the butter for about 1 to 2 minutes on each side because I like my steak medium. If you like yours medium well or well done, cook it for longer. This steak wasn't too thick, so there was no point for me to put it in the oven to cook. So I just basted it and let it rest for 10 minutes before I cut into it. Now for that garlic butter sauce. Use 1 whole stick of that Kerrygold pure Irish butter. Throw in some fresh chopped garlic, a lot, and mix that up. Now I throw in about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of heavy cream. And yes, my heavy cream thick like me. I slipped up and added more garlic powder even though I already had garlic in there. But anyways, onion powder and some of that Old Bay. Once it gets hot and thick like me, add a handful of Parmesan cheese. And then cut the heat off and just mix it. Just trust me on this, okay? Now add just some fresh parsley. And then mix it up some more. And then taste test this sauce so you can get it to how you like it. Now go ahead and get that potato and slice it right down the middle. Go ahead and get you a fork and mash up them insides as much as you possibly can. I mean, I do like mine a little chunky like me. Then pour you some sauce on the inside, plate it up, and you got fried shrimp and steak loaded baked potato. Share it with a friend or eat it by yourself. All right, bye.